So in the last little video I showed you how to do simple things like change the colour fill and the line and use the move tool and the direct selection tool. So some little things for you to start to understand there. Obviously that's just scratching the tip of the iceberg really in terms of what this program can do. So in this little video what we're going to do is we're going to look at how we can actually start to create shapes using all the different tools and then combining them together. So what we're going to do this time is we're going to use the pen tool. Now as you can see from the little video when I mouse over it, it shows you like a little animation of what it's going to do. And there's a really good game called the Bezier game. If I go onto the internet and type in the Bezier game, Bezier, and the Bezier game is a really good game for learning how to use the pen tool. So you basically follow what the computer is asking you to do, and it shows you what to, and then you do it. So it's asking me to draw this house, so I start here, and I go round, and it gives you so many points to do it in. Then if you get it right, it moves on to the next one. Here we're drawing a circle, so it's asking us to change the way we create the shape. So as you can see, I'm actually making the points. I'm not doing a very good job on this one. I'll still probably get it there somewhere close. There we go. There we go. So you can have a bit of a play around with that and start to learn how to use the Bezier game. But back into Illustrator, and using the same tool, the pen tool, we create what are called Bezier lines. You'll see this a lot in different bits of software. It's referred to the same thing. It's basically a path that you can draw. So you can either draw it dot to dot. Oh look, it's remembered that 16 point lock. I wasn't expecting that. It can draw dot to dot like that. And then you can like move the points again. Or you can draw in a curve. So I can draw start there and click and drag and create a curve. Now what you'll find is if I do like an S here, you'll see that it joins up these 2 points. So the first point and the last point, it draws a fill between the 2 points. So you just got to be wary of that when you're drawing, because if you've got the fill selected, it will fill the shape in. You know, you obviously can turn that to zero, to nothing, but just be aware of that when you draw, and you can actually use that little box there as well. So if I click on this foreground colour and then click there, it'll disappear. So that means it's now just drawing a line that's a blue line. So you can carry on drawing round, and you can then go back to the beginning where you started, and you'll notice that when you get back to the beginning, the little cursor will have a little circle on it. So you'll see that it's completing the shape, and you've got one complete shape. It's good to have a complete shape because it stops you from having little dodgy fills, little lines between points that you don't expect, like we were seeing at the beginning when there was that S there. So it's always useful to fill a shape. And although I said in the first video that Illustrator is a drawing package or drawing software, I don't really see it as drawing. I'm an artist. That's my training. I'm a graphic designer. But this is not how I draw. If I was picking up a pencil, this is not how I would draw. I see Illustrator more as a sculpture package. So you start off with a shape and then you manipulate the nodes, the little points and the handles to create the shape you want. And I think it's more sculpture than drawing in its true form, I would say. I don't quite know what that is. Just undo that. So yeah, so it's basically sculpting lines rather than drawing them. Okay, now if you draw with angles to start with and you want to curve them, you can do. So you can actually curve the lines using the direct selection tool. So you can actually click on the points there and do this, which we've looked at. But you can also click on the point and change it to a different handle. So at the moment it says it's on an angle. So if we click to convert to smooth, it will now put the handles in, so like the seesaw handles, which means that we can actually just create the curve and bend it around. Again, curve and bend it. Now, you can actually turn these back as well. So if you want to turn them back from curves to angles, you can do. So you click on the point, click on the angle, and it turns it back to an arrow or a point. Same with that one, back to a point, and it's gone. With these ones, it's kind of different. So when you've created them using the little handle, when you take them back to angles, they turn into, you end up with 2 points. We had one at the beginning, then we ended up with 2. So it does duplicate your points, which is fine. Sometimes you need that. If you want to get rid of a point, you can just click on the minus pen. So click on that, it gets rid of it. Don't delete though. If you press delete, you get a hole. So you get like that dodgy gap between 2 points. So if I was to fill this now, it would automatically fill and then fill in that gap. And I might not want a straight line. I can't curve that line because there's no actual maths telling the computer there's a line between these 2 points. I can't do anything with this point, this sort of like line. It will just stay as a straight line. Wherever these 2 points are, it will just draw a line between them. So I would definitely recommend not to delete using the delete key. Always delete points using the anchor selection point and remove it that way. Okay, so pen tool, direct selection tool, and the last little thing we're going to look at in this little short video is the curvature tool. Now the curvature tool works in a way of being able to curve existing straight lines. So you can literally draw a path that's using dot to dot and creating just basically a zigzag type shape, and then you can curve it using the curvature tool, like so. And you just basically click on the straight line where you want to curve it and drag it, and you end up with a curve tool or a curve shape. As you can see now, it's added some new points in. Added these points in between. Where I clicked, it's added another point and added the handlebars, so I can manipulate it even more just using the direct selection tool and get the shape I want. Okay, so we'll leave that there and then we'll move on in the next video to creating some more things.